We are live. It is 3:03 p.m. Central Standard Time in the U.S., 9:03 p.m. BST in the U.K. It's the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe coming to you live.
Hey.
Sunday, April 23rd, 2023. We do have a guest. It's going to be Petar, but he's driving home from somewhere, I think Wales.
Somewhere in Wales, yeah.
Somewhere in Wales. I don't know. It sounds far, but it's the UK, so nothing's really that big. It's not that far to get anywhere.
No, he'll be with us.
But I mean, it's like soon. 9 o'clock at night, so hopefully there's not too much traffic at 9 p.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah, it should be pretty clear. He'll be with us soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, so anyway, so he'll swing on by, and we appreciate him coming on in, and I guess we'll get started with the first order of business. How was your week? Did okay?
Yeah, it's been all right. Usual work, come home, eat dinner, go bed, work. You know how it goes. You've got some more interesting stories over your fine den.
Yeah.
Let's hear about it.
So, well, first of all, I want to talk about the fact that St. Louis FC was up 1-0 in
I see that.
Extra time. 2 minutes in extra time, and they scored a goal. Drew.
Oh, man.
Damn it.
Was it Colorado? Was it Colorado?
Colorado FC, yeah.
Yeah, they're not a bad side, though.
Oh, man, it drove me. Yeah, no, it was a good match, but Jesus, man. I hate giving up a goal in extra time, and it sucks. Oh, well. Well, good luck. Good on them. They pulled it to a draw, so they get a point, and that's how it's going to go.
Well, talking of football quickly, or soccer, Arsenal, they went 3-1 down against bottom of the league, Southampton, Wednesday. We managed to pull it back to a 3-3 draw, but that's 3 draws on the trot now, so not good for our title hopes. But yeah, let's move swiftly on from football.
Yeah. Well, if you had playoffs, it wouldn't matter, but you guys don't have playoffs. So.
Nope, sadly not.
No playoffs. Okay, so
everyone's asking where the hat is.
Yeah, I don't know. Where is the hat?
Okay, let's not disappoint people. There we go, guys. There we go.
All right. So he's got the hat. So now we can properly begin. So yeah. So LaShawn, holler at your boy. Finally sent me over the fine pen, and Beautiful. It's awesome. I can't make phone calls with it. Tried Mint Mobile. Can't connect. It connects to their data. I can get data, but I can't send a text message. And I contacted their support, and they tried to tell me that Mint Mobile is not. Mint Mobile doesn't support Oppo. To which on the live chat, I went to their website, screenshotted it, and sent it to the agent that was on. I said, "Really? Well, then what's this?" Oh, well, we'll send it to our second level support folks, and they'll be in touch. That was
what he did. He said that and went, bye.
Yeah. So that was Wednesday. They'll send an email when they let me know, and this is now Sunday. So
yeah, that email's not coming.
That email's not coming. So I'm not exactly excited about Mint. Price is good, but that customer, well, the person just flat out either didn't know or lied to me and thought I was stupid.
Or both. Or both. Thing is, though, Sam, you get a different customer service guy after that, or lady, obviously, might not be a guy. You get a different person, and they know what they're talking about. They're really helpful. It's just down to the person you got. That's what it's like with customer service.
Yeah, and so I get that. So, but so
it's not a good look.
So I figured, well, maybe it's because then I put it in my Moto, fires right up. I put it in my Duo, fires right up, works perfectly fine. It resolves the APN, says wholesale for Mint, all that, man, works perfectly like a chime, perfectly. Then so I figured, okay, so I did. I was like, well, screw it. Since I'm out shopping for people, I figured, and I let Gigi know, and she said, I've had no problems with it, and so did LaShawn. So I was like, okay. So I went over to T-Mobile. I just walked into a store and just said, hey, I'm bringing my own device. I'm going to start an account. Got a SIM. Worked perfectly fine for about 3 hours. And then
so weird. So
I don't know if it's at home. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to bring it with me when I go to my parents' house today. They live in West County, St. Louis. Okay. Where the coverage is magnificent. And I'm going to see if it has to do with that. Because if it is that, then I'm still screwed because I can't not receive phone calls at home. That's just not going to work.
So you still have a 14-day calling off period, right? You can.
Well, yeah. I mean, I could just. Well, I've already prepaid for the month. So worst case, if I cancel the service, they'll just refund me.
Yeah.
The $37.
But you ported your number over, didn't you? So.
Yeah. So I can just wait and port it back. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not a big deal these days. It used to be.
Yeah, so all I do is just get a code for AT&T and then just have a unlock it. But I mean, I'm going to keep the T-Mobile for right now because this, again, the Find N isn't mine. I was just basically testing out. And it's dude, it is. And this is just my opinion, so I'll just say this, and I know I'm going to get hate and disagreement from people. This, to me, for what I like as far as form factor and build quality, is much better than the Fold 4. Just period.
Bodes well for the Pixel Fold because it's earmarked to be similar.
It's I love it. I mean, I compared it, and I've had the Fold. Well, to be fair with you, I've had the Fold 3. I didn't have the 4, so maybe it's a little different. But
it's not a great deal of difference,
right? Just as far as the size and the build quality of this, and the way that the screen is a little shorter and wider, and when you open it up, it doesn't display Instagram. It's got some letterboxing and stuff, but to me, this is so much better. And the crease is non-existent. I mean, you can kind of see it when it's off, and you kind of turn it.
And that's the first one, right? That's the first gen one, yeah.
Yeah. So it's awesome. Like this, it drives me so crazy that I cannot get the damn sim to work. I can't make calls. So Barry's in the chat. I know, and so anyway, this is nothing to do against Barry, but man, I'm not exactly happy with Mint's customer service at this point.
Barry will sort it out for you, I'm sure.
Well, I mean,
did you check the bands? No, but say it in the device and with T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Did you check the bands?
Well, here's the thing. LaShawn and Gigi both use T-Mobile SIMs in it, and
they use T-Mobile. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it works fine. So it's not a band thing. It's not the phone. The phone's not broke. It's just, I think the only time I've had issues with it was I've been at home. So I'm thinking maybe it's because I'm at my house. But the problem is, if it is that problem, then
it worked in your Moto though, so it can't be your house.
It works in my Moto. I put the SIM in my Moto, fires up, great calls. When I put it in my Duo, it fires right up, and even puts the correct AP, the right. When I use the Mint, it says wholesale, right? It says the right APN. It's all good. Works without a charm, without a problem, no hiccups at all. The Find N, Mint never worked on it. And then T-Mobile worked in the store for the first 2 or 3 hours. And then when I left, I got home and my daughter had to call me on Telegram because she said, "Dad, I tried to call your number. It doesn't work."
Disappointing.
So, it kind of sucks. And then, of course, I put the AT&T SIM in it, and I'm not even going to try to call them because they're going to tell me we're not going to touch that thing. So they're not going to support it. So it's fine. Which is kind of – so it puts me in a quandary. So I'm like, okay, well, wonder if I get like a Xiaomi. Will that work?
It does put you off a bit, doesn't it?
Right. I'm like, well, the whole point to get mobile Mint and T-Mobile was so that way I can go back to using Xiaomi and Oppo and Vivo and Realme and all those other kind of non-US based phones, right? Well, if I can't get the SIM to resolve where it can't make phone calls, then I'm just going to go back to AT&T and just be done with it, because that's where all my accounts are. I might go back to Mint, but I can't use the Oppo. I'll have to use something else.
Talk to Barry afterwards. I'm sure he'll help you out. Oh, I've lost Sam. He's turned into just a chair. He's back.
So I had to let the dog out.
Who let the dogs out?
Of course, I said that. I knew you were going to do it. You just
of course, it had to be done.
So it's kind of disappointing, but it's whatever. So so probably I'll see how it goes, and then if not, then I'll send the phone back to Gigi. But
you like the phone though?
The phone's awesome. Like I really, as far as a foldable, I think this is the way to go. And if the Pixel Fold is like this style and it's like this form factor and everything like that, I'd be highly interested in it, getting it, obviously because it's a Pixel. But we'll see.
I'm back on my Pixel now. My SIM is back in the Pixel.
Right, because you sent the other one to
Dan, well, I'm sending it Tuesday. I'm going to send it on my day off. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Barry's going to give me the hookup. So, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. Oppo foldable, Simon. Yeah, the Oppo Find N. So, we'll see. Scoop.
See, everyone says Oppo, but I've heard it's actually called Oppo.
I don't know.
Who wants to clear that up? Anyone? Yeah. I've always said Oppo, but I've heard it's Oppo.
Oppo. Oh, well, I don't know.
I heard
To me,
tech,
it's two
I heard
P's
tech
and that's
order.
Oppo.
Yeah, but it's not English, is it?
No, it's not. Yeah,
I heard Tech Altar call it Oppo.
Yeah.
And Ted Salmon calls it Oppo.
Okay, they're both European, so maybe that's an English thing or a European thing or an American pronunciation to it.
Maybe.
It's called no, it's aluminium, right?
Aluminium. Yeah, aluminium frame.
It's actually Appa Gangnam style. That's what yeah. Appa is actually isn't that father? Isn't it Appa and Korean, right? So Appa. Gigi's in the chat. So
GG.
Yeah, she's the owner of.
Reggie's having some problems.
Yeah.
Poor Reggie.
So I'm not sure, but he looks like earlier Barry gave me a little R-Mint Mobile and tag Alex. So he said that's their tier 1 support. You shouldn't. Yeah, I should have. I know. I mean, that's what's driving me nuts. Are you really sure? Yeah, she's heard it pronounced both ways. And Simon says Chinese phones tend to not include band 20. Otherwise, I get it as Xiaomi 13 Ultra. Yeah. So I guess in the UK, I guess you need band 20 if you're going to be on. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm assuming it's working fine for both LaShawn and Gigi. So I don't know what is going on. The only thing is it worked at the store, and I left, and I even was running around in some errands for 2 hours. It seemed like I was getting calls. Everything was like, I was like, oh man, this is actually working. I'm like excited. I'm like, okay, cool. This is pretty sweet. I can't wait. And then. Like I said, then I didn't make any calls. I was just setting up the phone. I was just using it at home. I wasn't receiving text. I wasn't making calls. I was just kind of hanging out at the house. And so my daughter called at 8 o'clock and said, hey, it went right to voicemail again. So I tried to make a phone outbound and nothing. So I was like,
Oh, so frustrating.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. So I'll reach out to.
I've got to read this at Barnick Scoop. There's a great comment there about Spurs being very Spursy today. They lost 6-1 against Newcastle. It was fantastic.
Oh,
really enjoyed it. Very, very much enjoyed it being an Arsenal fan.
Spurs having the Spursiest match ever.
Yeah. It was. I couldn't believe my eyes. I looked on my phone, got an alert, notification. I was like, oh shit. Wow. It was only 21 minutes in and they'd already I think 4-0 down.
Wow. Well,
wow.
Yeah, didn't waste any time getting to the ass kicking, that's for sure.
Yeah, 3-0 down after 10 minutes, as Scoop says.
Jeez.
Fantastic.
It's almost like playing it on Xbox or something, right?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, brilliant.
Anyway, yeah, so a lot of talk about the Pixel Fold.
Yeah, the talk about the bezels. I don't mind the look of it, to be honest myself.
I don't understand this. Again, the bezel thing is kind of like the OS update thing.
Yeah, people just like to moan about shit.
God, it's not bezel-less. I mean, it's like, come on.
No.
I mean, those bezels, is it really that bad? And if you're that kind of person, then okay, well then don't get it. Go get a Fold 5 when it comes out. If you really want to do that, if you want to go that route. But it's just
yeah, people just.
I swear, man, you can hand some of these people a bar of gold and they'll just piss and moan. They got to carry this big heavy fucking.
But this too heavy.
They're gonna carry this fucking thing everywhere. This is bullshit, man. It's like, I mean, whatever. They're always looking for something, right? So, yeah.
Thanks, Gigi. My daughter made this hat.
Yeah, you had it on last week, so.
Yeah, she said she likes it.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, so I'm saying you might have to wear it always.
Yeah, I think it's become a permanent fixture now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People after the Spurs are just punching downwards. Yay for St. Tottenham's Day, though.
Yep. So, yeah.
What?
So what? Do you want me to explain what that is?
Yeah, because I have no idea what that means.
So that's when Arsenal can't be caught by Tottenham. So that's like St. Tottenham's Day.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So they're not catching us.
Officially out, or they're officially so far behind that they pay, no matter if they want every game.
It's just an Arsenal. It's just an Arsenal Tottenham thing.
Right.
So it's to the point where they can't catch us up. They can't go above us.
Right. So even if Arsenal lost every game and they won every match, they still would not.
It's done.
So the point in the season that happens is that's what it's called.
Yeah.
How the hell is any American going to know that unless you're a rabid soccer fan?
Come on, man. You meant to do your research.
Sure. Absolutely.
You should know everything about the Arsenal
Well, what cracks me up too is the fact that now for some reason you're like all you're doing is sending me baseball clips.
Oh yeah, because I get them through and they're pretty awesome. That catch was amazing.
Yeah.
The batter actually says like, "Did you catch that?"
The guy's like, "Yeah, I caught it."
Yeah, I caught it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that was pretty awesome. I had to share it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those like right up the box, right that, and the pitcher just happens to have his glove there, and he's just reacting to it. He's like, it just happens.
Yeah, like a natural reaction, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
That must hurt a bit.
Well, no, it depends. If it hits in the webbing of the glove,
yeah,
it doesn't hurt at all because your fingers aren't there.
Yeah.
If it hits the palm, that can sting a bit. That gets a little. That can be a little painful, but yeah. So I'm supposed to catch it in the palm. We're supposed to catch it in the middle. That's the top.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, yeah. So
the technicals of baseball.
The technicals. It's the technicals. Yeah. So
technical.
So I don't know. I don't think the bezels are bad. I'm $1,800 though. If I'm gonna buy that off contract, even if I have some trade-ins, that's gonna sting a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can afford to do that. I'm afraid. I'd like to, but
depends on. I mean, I haven't heard any care. I'm sure that carriers will carry the phone. I'm assuming that T-Mobile, they carry the Pixel, so I'm assuming it'll be available you can do an upgrade or whatever with the full.
There'd be a good freebie with it as well, no doubt.
Well, yeah, you get the watch.
Is that confirmed?
I don't know. Tell you what, keep the watch and make it $14.99. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, keep your bloody watch.
Right. How about this? We'll give you $17.99 in the watch, or we'll do $14.99 and forget the watch. I'll take $14.99, forget the watch, and I'll throw a phone or two on there and see if I can get it. If I can get it sub 1,000, I'll swing on it.
Yeah. But the thing is, Sam, you probably will in about 3 months, 4 months after launch. So get it then. Oh
yeah, I'll wait.
Because that bad boy would drop. I think.
Well, also you're gonna see no matter what, even if this device comes out and really hits the ground running and is really solid, people are gonna shit on it. I'm just waiting for it already because they're already nitpicking the bezels. Still got the Tensor 2. I'm like, come on, man.
It's like,
Jesus.
Yeah, man. It's gonna happen, isn't it?
It's gonna happen because. No, I understand skepticism. I understand being worried because it's a first-gen product. I totally get all that. Trust me, I've been down that road with the Duo, right? And Duo 2. I know how that works. And I realized I remember the first Fold, right, was pretty shaky, right?
Barry's got his trade-ins ready.
Right. Now he's got trade-ins. See, I don't have trade-ins.
Trade-ins,
I've got the Duo, which is not going to get me much. I've got the Moto, which might be $200. So
I would sell this hat, but it's priceless.
Yeah, you can't sell the hat. You got to explain to your daughter you sold the hat for a Pixel Fold.
Yeah. She'll hate me.
Yep, Jimmy's in the chat. Hey, Jimmy, and remember, stay hydrated. Agree.
Oh, look, Jimmy, be proud of me today. I'm actually drinking water, H2O.
Yeah, and I have it's like we call it.
It's like diarrhea in a glass.
Yeah, it's a iced tea.
Iced tea, ice, baby.
All right, so we have Petar incoming here in a few minutes.
We have our guest.
I'm just gonna pull him in as soon as he shows up. I'm gonna pull him in, and we're gonna get cracking. So
get crack-a-lacking.
So, but yeah, I'm just drinking. Actually, it's the half tea, half lemonade. So it's called an orange.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what they call it in the UK. Do they call it that too? Do they even have that available?
No, but we do stick many things with lemonade, so.
Right. It's just iced tea and lemonade mixed half and half.
And stick some ice cream in it. Do you love ice cream?
I do not. I do not love ice cream. I don't even eat the stuff.
I know you don't. That's what I said. Yeah. Have you seen an ice cream float though? It's weird. I've never been into it.
My wife makes them all the time. A&W root beer.
Yeah.
But you have to use root beer for that.
No, cream soda we use.
Oh, cream soda? Yeah, you can do it cream soda. But yeah. And it's in the UK. It's called a snake bite. Okay.
Snake bite. Snake bite's when you put maybe I'm wrong, but I thought it was when you put beer and cider together with a bit of blackcurrant. That's what I thought.
You can use root. Yeah, he says root beer. I
thought that's what snake bite was, when you put beer and cider together with blackcurrant in it.
Oh, maybe. Well, here's the thing. I've learned very quickly that you don't have to go very far in the UK to find out what a barm,
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's different. Like every city is a different. They all call it
Yeah.
So
probably different snake bites. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe it's just enough. Yeah, but I agree with Letty. That's right. I just don't see my wife use cream soda a lot. But yeah, a lot of people do. But
Have you heard of Turbo Shandy?
Mm-mm.
You know what a shandy is, right?
Yeah, I think
that's when you have like beer with lemonade. Yeah, right. But turbo one is, Smirnoff Ice. Use that instead of lemonade.
Oh God, that sounds terrible.
So
Simon says, so he says it's cider and beer. So maybe depending on where you are.
Yeah, Simon's with me on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it depends on where you are. Maybe that's a regional thing, or maybe that's I don't know. I never heard of it. I'm just saying it's really good. It's in the United States they're called an Arnold Palmer after the golfer, because he was supposed to be the first one that did it when he was out golfing. He would have a jug of tea, lemonade, put it together, and walk out with it. So just go with it. Yeah, just go with it. He just wants to go with it. Just
don't look too deep.
Just let it happen. Just let it happen. Just let it go. So, there he is. All right, Petar's in the chat. There he is.
Hello.
Fresh from his trip. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. I just got back from Wales.
Yeah, okay. Good. Then we got it right.
Time?
I was like, I don't know where he's coming from. He said Wales, but I wasn't sure, so I don't know.
You got family there, or?
No. We went to see like some waterfalls and stuff, and just have like a general day out.
Oh, okay. It's beautiful country. So yeah, makes sense.
Oh, that's right. I forgot it's not. It's a different country. I forgot that. Right.
Well, yeah, 3 hours each way. 3 hours each way ain't so bad to go see a new country.
No, not at all. I mean,
not bad.
Okay, yeah, I forgot. Like Wales. Okay, yeah, I got it. I'm sorry. I forgot for a second. Like, well, no, it's a whole different. Yeah, it's a whole different country. They got a whole different flag and all that stuff. So I've never. So is that some place you guys go often, or is that has it been a while? Like you go right?
It's been a little while. We've been up there to go up places like Penny Fan. It's kind of like a mountain, I guess. Okay. We go do some hiking and stuff once in a while. Take the dogs, try and kill them. At least that's what I tell them. My girlfriend wants to do to them. Myself included today. But it's like a place of natural beauty, really.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll tell you what, I don't go to Wales for is the cuisine.
Oh, the food's a little okay. Yeah, I didn't know. Well, I mean, do they have? I guess it's just Welsh cuisine is not very good, or is that just? And do you have places where you can kind of go? Well, I could get regular non-Welsh cuisine.
It's like nothing I can't get here.
Oh, okay. You're just like, just eat up, lady, before we get here. Because if it's a day trip, just eat before we leave and just wait till we get home. We'll stop at the roadside.
Basically.
Cool. So let's get into it. So what? So I want to talk about the YouTube channel, like what happened and like how that thought process goes and what you had to experience, and kind of just want to pick your brain about that. If you could kind of elaborate, I'm been
was that like
more than mildly curious to what's going on.
let's start off with like, so Petar had a channel, Direct Tech, for anyone who don't know. Most people do know though. And what how many subs did you have before you?
1500.
So you had quite a lot. Of subs. And so what happened? What made you quit?
Basically, it's just kind of like, so I got monetized last August, and it started off initially quite well. And, I think for a lot of people that don't do YouTube, they're really not aware of how much money it costs to run a channel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're looking at £40 or £50 a month minimum for like various subscriptions to help you run your channel.
Okay.
And, you sustain that for a year, you buy the equipment, lights, camera, software, a MacBook to edit on. You're already like £2,000-3,000 deep, I need to get a return on that. And it's, on top of doing like your normal day job, trying to do stuff with your own personal life, trying to maintain a channel on top of it is a burden. It can be a burden. There are times that you think to yourself, like, F this, I'd rather be doing something else. But you've committed to the channel, so you need to pump out the content, to keep the channel in the algo, keep your viewers current and stuff like that. And I said to myself, like, when I get monetized, I need to see an adequate return to make me feel incentivized, A, to continue, and B, so that it at least covers the running costs. You know, so it's not coming out of my pocket anymore. Now, obviously, between last August and where we are today in 2023, a lot's happened in the world. Like, Joe, you live in the UK. I mean, energy prices and stuff are ridiculous. The cost of day-to-day life. And now I'm kind of weighing it up against what I spend every month on the channel is working out to like at least a week's worth of gas on my meter. And things like that. Now, it's not all money related, but so let me go back to the monetization. It started off initially quite well, and then it just started to slope off. And then around November, December last year, it goes down to between £20 to £30 a month, and it just never recovered. Like, it just never recovered. But what was really bizarre was my CPM would be in the £30 range, right? 28 to be exact, yeah? But my RPM, so for those of you who don't know, CPM is cost per milli. That's how much YouTube charges people to show an advert on my channel for every 1,000 views, okay? RPM is what you make. That's what you get. My RPM was £4. Now, YouTube constantly tell you, oh, it's a 55-45 split with 55% going to the creator. And when I actually sat down and went back through my monetization history within YouTube Studio, I very, very, very rarely got 55%. Right?
Yeah, that's a bit of a piss take, isn't it?
So I go to YouTube and I'm like, here's my metrics. Why am I not getting 55%? And I actually asked them on 2, if not 3 occasions. I'm pretty sure it's 3 occasions. Why am I not getting 55%? Oh, but you don't have this metric. And so all of a sudden, there's 101 excuses why you're not getting the full 55%. Right? Now, I like to think I'm not A, a mug, and B, I'm not stupid. Okay? I'm old enough at 29 years old to know when someone's pulling a wool over my eyes. Yeah? Right. It's been, 2.5 years since I've had this channel. And it works out that I'm doing all the work in my own time at my own expense, and the only person making any fucking money is YouTube. Like, you were already making money pre my 1K subs and God knows how much you made, because I had some very successful videos. I had some really, really good evergreen content, which was pulling in good views. I was averaging 2,500 to 3,000 views per 48 hours.
Nice.
Okay. And out of that, I'm getting £4 per 1,000, and then it worked out somehow. I'm still getting, £22 a month.
Right.
It's madness, isn't it? So that just puts it into perspective, like what you need to do to get decent money. Madness.
So he says £4 RPM. That's great. That's I don't know a lot of the metrics behind it. That's why I'm curious, because I don't know. I didn't, now when you're talking about that money, that outlay every month, is that through YouTube, or is that other stuff outside of YouTube? Like,
so things like Canva, Epidemic Music, not to mention things like I've probably spent £50 to £100 on like plugins for Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro cost me £300. My MacBook cost me £1,500 with my military discount. I mean, it's just constant, and you're always trying to upgrade your setting. I mean, the desk that my MacBook is sitting on right now, that was £100. If I actually sat down, went back through YouTube, through my Amazon, all the things that I bought just for like the actual setting of where I'm operating. I mean, the whiteboard back there, that was £40. Just
all adds up, doesn't it?
Yeah, seriously, it's a lot of money. Getting a camera for £700, a lens for £160, getting devices back and forth, cases in, and sometimes you forget to send them, or you don't get a review unit, send it back, so you get it off Amazon, you forget to send it, that gets charged to you now,
Okay.
It's not just money as well, it's time is precious as well. Like the editing takes a long time, making the videos, everything takes a long time.
Joe's perfectly kind of segued there into the next part. So I don't know how many of you guys know Mike, who used to run Tech 702. He now runs Mike Dizzle in Motion, like an automotive channel. Yeah. Okay, so for reference, right? Mike had a channel, I think, for like 8 to 9 weeks, a new automotive channel. He got 2,000 subs in that time and a $250 per month sponsorship. Yeah.
Okay.
And hats off to Mike. Absolutely love the guy. But then it kind of puts into perspective for me. Like, I've been doing this for 2.5 years. I'm at 1,500 subs, you know, and I've constantly battling with brands to get anything out of them. I'm either getting emails like, why should we work with you? You fucking contacted me. You fucking tell me.
Right.
Right.
They reached out to you. Right. Clearly they saw value or something.
Or they're wasting my time not replying, you know, because I have to sit down for like sometimes like a half hour to go through emails, look up if they're genuine, if I want to work with them. I have to check out their SEO. Again, it takes time. Okay. Time I'm not being paid for. And then there's things like, oh, we want to work with you, but we're only willing to give you affiliate, right? And unless your SEO is incredible and you're like a really popular brand, like say Petar, okay, doing affiliate with you is not all that worth it. And what I found, at least in my case, I'm sure for people like Technically T, it's a completely different ballgame. But for a channel of my size at 1,500 subs with the reach I have within YouTube and their algorithm, I practically made all of my money on affiliate for about 2 months and it completely dies off. You know? So you're making a very short burst of money, which, by the way, took me months to get paid out. But long story short, I got really tired of having to battle with brands going back and forth saying like, no, I want 200, 300 pounds for a video because I have X amount on Instagram, X amount on TikTok, X amount on YouTube, X amount of followers on Twitter, not to mention the time it takes me to create a reel for you, create a TikTok for you, create a review for you, and do all these things. You're paying for my reach and, you know, my audience and my time and my equipment, the wear on my equipment. Same like if you're a taxi, essentially part of the fee is you're paying for the wear on someone's car, right? So why do you think sending me a free case that I can order off Amazon, review it, and send it back is doing me a favor?
Right. It doesn't sound like there's a lot of incentive or return on investment for your time and energy. It just seems like, and it's not sustainable. It's like, okay, I get this little burst of like 50 quid and then that's it. It's like,
basically,
it doesn't seem like it's a sustainable model for getting off the ground. Maybe it's, as you get the ball rolling.
I mean, I generated for Petar something in the region of $3,000 to $4,000 in sales. I got something like $186, I think.
Yeah.
By the time you convert all of that, it takes the time to get it paid. It took like 3 months to get the money.
Yeah.
So I think it sounds like to me as well, Petar, when you started the channel, you probably enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean,
and the enjoyment just died, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Everybody goes through it. You know, initially you start and, you know, it's exciting, you're getting views and stuff. And one thing to the last day that I did always enjoy was engaging with viewers, answering the questions in the comments. The good ones anyway, not the stupid ones. That was always fun. It's always nice to help people. Okay. And one thing I found out as well doing YouTube, even having 1,500 subs, was just how much, doesn't matter how small or big your channel is, you can genuinely impact someone's purchasing decision.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Which I thought was A, insane, but B, quite cool at the same time. Like, damn, I've actually made that impact on somebody's purchasing decision, whether it was a £40 product or a £1,000 product. But as time goes on, you know, and you realize it's not a hobby. People say it's a hobby. It's not. Let's be clear. It's a business, right? And you are, as much as you are a content creator, you're also a business owner. Let's phrase it that way. Okay. How long are you going to run that business at a loss for?
Yeah, exactly.
Not long, depending on how much you have in the bank and how much you want to just basically keep eating it every month. So,
you know, let's call the content, the brands, suppliers. Your suppliers are constantly trying to screw you. They're not trying to give you a fair deal. You know, people in other niches who are getting a way fairer deal without having to fight for it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I was gonna ask, do you think it's because it's the tech space where that is a little bit more, there's a little bit more unevenness as opposed to if you're doing like any other kind of niche, right? If you're doing automotive stuff or you're doing food or you're doing anything else, that seems to be more of an equal playing field when it comes to brands.
I genuinely think the tech niche is probably one of the ones trying hardest to screw the content creator.
Okay.
And I've spoken to people with anything up to 90,000 subs who have generated $400,000 in sales for a very large mobile brand. Who, actually, I'm going to name them. It's Samsung. Okay, this content creator has generated $400,000 in displays, sales of displays for Samsung. They still refuse to pay him or send him a review unit.
Weird.
Wow. Do you kind of see what I'm getting at? So
yeah,
over time, I'm getting drips of information, and you kind of like a puzzle. You start putting a picture together.
Right.
And you're talking to larger content creators, smaller content creators. What's going on with them? And it's just, it just gets to a point where I'm sat here and I'm like, why the fuck am I bothering?
Yeah. Do you think a lot of people are moving platform because of this, or is it the same with other platforms?
Frankly, something that I considered, and I don't know how many people in the audience really know about Rumble. I considered moving the channel over to Rumble, or at least doubling up on Rumble. I didn't really give it a chance. A lot of people told me it's not that mature yet and stuff like that. I could have, gone and found out about it. But I think YouTube as a platform, because it's such a monopoly, it doesn't really give creators a fair shake necessarily. Right. And one thing that, I think never gets said out loud, but if we think about it in a genuine way, and this has been, I think, proven before, is brands pay to make sure larger content creators get the views for their products, right? Yep. And B, we are in an economic recession. I do keep a very good thumb on the pulse of current economic affairs globally. Spending is down. Advertisers are spending a lot less money with YouTube, okay? And the way I see it is, it seems to be speaking from British and American content creators that YouTube is prioritizing keeping AdSense high in the US whilst lowering it elsewhere. And I really wouldn't put it past YouTube, because do remember, at the end of the day, they are a business. They're all about making money. They've got shareholders and whatnot to report to, CEOs trying to get a bonus. If they can skew things in such a way that, let's say, Marquez, now I'm not picking these people for any specific reason. They're just big channels that come to mind. Let's say I Marquez, Andrew Edwards, flipping John Rettinger, just a couple of examples. Let's say those channels have a really high retention, lots of views, and advertisers pay higher to be on their channel. Views are falling. If you're YouTube and you're on their end, server end, and you can see YouTube's are falling, the views that you still have, you're going to try and skew in search to go towards them, because advertisers pay more and they have better retention.
Right.
What happens in the end? Smaller channels suffer. I'm very confident that somewhere along the line, YouTube is probably hurting financially from losing business, and they're probably pushing it towards larger channels. So that's something else that crossed my mind.
Well, and I mean, a lot of people would probably make the argument, and it's really probably not a tinfoil hat kind of thing, that the system is rigged, not rigged necessarily negatively, but it skews that way because it makes sense from a business. I mean, think about it. If you were a
business
CEO,
point of view, yeah,
what would you do? Would you, again, you wouldn't take a loss. You would try to maximize, especially if you're having downturns. If you're looking at your bottom line, you're looking at your sheets, and you don't have employees, right? You can't really get rid of that labor cost, right? Because in most traditional companies, that's the first attack vector, right? That's the first stabilizer is labor, because you can get rid of that easy, right? But it's everything else. But YouTube doesn't have that, so what are they going to do? If you're running YouTube, you have to shift it all and monetize and make it that way, the way you're describing, which is unfortunate. It's not fair.
And if, for YouTube, for content creators, I would expect you, if you're in the chat, to keep a kind of a pulse on what goes on between Rumble and YouTube. Rumble's like an up-and-coming competitive platform, very similar to YouTube in a sense, okay? You search for the content you want. They're trying very hard to get market share from YouTube. They've already got people like Russell Brand, Steven Crowder, and now Matt Walsh exclusively on there.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people go on YouTube to go and watch political commentary. which is something that YouTube does heavily censor in a heavily left-leaning sense, which has in turn pissed those content creators off who've taken their business elsewhere.
But some of those people have just been outright banned, so they don't really have a choice. It's not like they have a choice. They're like, if they've been deplatformed for whatever reason, and that's so they don't exactly, they have nowhere else to go. It's not like they're just going, well, I could choose to be on YouTube. I'm going to leverage Rumble. It's like, oh, that door is closed, and they basically shut the door and then blew the fucking building up. And
competition's good though, right? Competition is good. That's what YouTube
is good, and I think it's something that YouTube needs. And one thing that's always been a common complaint with YouTube, and something I can attest to myself, is their support is fucking shit. Your support is shit.
Yeah, I've never had. I think this is. I hear these stories, and this is probably the reason why I don't want to do a YouTube channel, like a proper, like making content. Have a video once in a while and stay. I just want to stay in my podcast lane and be a shitty half-ass podcast that gets 50 subs. And people have a group of folks, and if it grows, great. If it doesn't, I just love the people that I engage with.
So I mean, my first thing is. So I mean, the first thing is obviously finance. You know, making £20 to £30 a month in AdSense isn't going to cut it. Obviously, having to constantly deal with brands trying to argue why they should pay for a video, yada yada yada, and stuff like that. I'm tired of having to argue with you. You know, and they're asking for a lot. I mean, I'm in a group chat with some content creators here in the UK, and we all collectively share the emails we get from brands asking for stupid stuff. And like companies are asking for, like, we want access to your channel, like a studio.
Wow,
we want,
really?
We want, yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we want access to where we post it, how we post it, how we edit it. They just basically want like the whole fucking cake.
Not invasive at all. Yeah, here's my password to my channel.
Some of the emails I've seen like blow your mind. They're not for me to share. So I'm not going to share names and
of course not. No, but it's interesting.
It's wild, and they're like, and we'll give you 5% affiliate because we're generous.
Yeah,
go fuck yourself. Take your 5% and shove it up your ass.
Right. Yeah. That just. I mean, it's So. I mean, I knew there was more to it, and I guess I watch other people, and then you've got this situation where I saw a bunch of people. I don't know who the creator, which really wasn't a creator. Sounds like he was stealing content, but somebody was going there and stealing.
I've seen a lot of this.
And it was like 4 or 5 people said, "Yeah, and hey, there's my videos are on there too." It's like, well, I mean, hell, if you're gonna go ahead and rip off content, you might as well go for big air and steal a bunch of shit. You know, at least you're.
You know what? The only thing I would say is a lot of those content creators he ripped off have a very fair argument to have him copyright struck, but they won't. And I think if you're a channel with 500,000 subscribers and you're nicking that many people's stuff, now he emailed me. Well, let me start. Actually, no, that's not true. I DM'd him to tell him he's a piece of shit. Okay, because I'm vocal and I just don't give a fuck. I'm not doing content.
Why it's called direct
anymore.
tech?
Right.
I'm not doing content creation anymore. What are you gonna do? Not send me a review unit? Kiss my ass. Right. So I sent him a DM to say you're a piece of shit. I've done YouTube. Stop stealing people's stuff. Oh, it's not me. I hired a cheap editor and I didn't check his work. So you mean to tell me you have 500,000 subscribers, but you don't check his fucking edits before you upload it on your channel?
Wow.
No, come on now. Come on now.
I don't know. I just believe he had 500,000. That was what blew me away. It was the 500,000. I was like, what? This wasn't just like a low end, less than 15. This is a pretty, what I would consider a super large channel. 500,000.
Yeah.
And do you know what? For people like, let's say Alex G Tech. Okay, I don't know him that well, but I can tell from the fact that he rents a dedicated office space for a start with the equipment I've seen him posting and using. His stuff is not cheap.
No,
and I've seen the guy's edits. I've seen the guy's work. He's very good at what he does. He's very professional and he uses some very expensive equipment. I think for a lot of people out there, they wouldn't really understand why you would be so pissed. But some of these shots, like getting the time to taking them over like 100 times, trying to get it just right. Because when you're a content creator, you're like, it's never good enough.
Yeah.
It's never good enough.
Yeah.
To then have somebody rip your work off and they're getting paid for the equipment that you use, the time, the editing, everything. Let's say you've applied some LUTs in Final Cut Pro and stuff like that. It's a piss take. It's a piss take. And he should 100% get copyright struck into fucking oblivion.
Yeah, he should really.
I guess my question is and maybe I guess this shows my gullibility or stupidity. It's like, do people actually think they can pull that off for that long? Especially in,
mind-blowing,
especially now maybe if you've got 1,500 or 1,000 subs and nobody, you know what I mean? That visibility, you could probably snake that under the radar because nobody's paying attention. But if you've got 500,000 subs, you have to figure that if you're stealing pretty decent content, that content creator may be watching your channel and go, I know this video. It's like, how long do you think you really pull that off? And I guess the question is, if he didn't do that intentionally, right? We have to assume that let's face value. Let's say his editor did decide to go rogue and do a bunch of shit like that.
And he's put it right though.
But that would have been the argument. It would have just been, oh, my editor did it, and find a guy and throw him under the bus. And right, it would have been, hey, public apology. Hey, I did not scan content. I did not clear content. I just let it rip. I had this dude I thought I could trust, and he basically went rogue on me. Now, you would say that's a very bad business model, but I know a lot of managers, a lot of companies that have no idea what some of their subordinates are doing on a daily basis, and they're some of the best leaders in organizations, right? So I can see how that can happen, but you would want to have you want to make sure everything go out the door with your name on it, that's your brand, is screened, vetted, and controlled. You don't want to just let somebody rip them out there.
It's very personal. Everything will be attributed to you directly. You are a face on a screen. And if he's not checking what goes in his channel, then he's an idiot. Okay? There is no way in hell I would ever give someone editorial control of my content without sitting down and watching it twice, at least. Mate, I used to edit like a 10-minute video, and I would sit here and watch it at least twice, just in case I didn't like something, want to change something, add something, remove something.
Maybe there's some audio that got bled in there. You had like a ding dong in the bell, a knock on the door, a cat making the noise, whatever.
Anything I've missed. Okay, so if you're doing that with 500,000 subscribers, you're reckless. You are reckless.
True. It is true. But some people are.
And you're definitely lazy, and you're going to get burned. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. And now his channel is essentially toast. I mean, really, at that point, I mean, you maybe can recover with 500,000, but I can tell you that. I mean, that kind of brand damage is not something you can probably recover from. So, well, I guess if you play it lazy and play it cheap, and or even more, but to deliberately try to pull that off, you're going to ride the lightning. You're going to get zapped, I guess, eventually. And tough shit on you.
One thing I will say as well, another reason I quit the channel was I think a lot of people don't really understand not just the physical effort it takes to run the channel, to do the editing, the ideas, go into the whiteboard and making a list of content, sitting down on YouTube and looking what your subscribers are looking at. It's a lot of mental energy.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a lot of mental energy. I'd be at work and thinking about the channel.
Yeah.
Checking studio, like it's constant. Like it's constant. And just the same way you have a tank every day for physical energy, it's the same thing I think with your mental energy. And I mean, it's very obvious that everyone's like, I'm a bit of a fat bastard at the minute. I've put quite a bit of weight on over the last 2-3 years.
Me and you both, mate.
Yeah, mate. Fucking,
all paid for. All paid for.
You know what I mean? I might have to hit Victoria's Secret soon, but
oh wow,
flipping.
So this gets me onto what I was going to say. What's next is it sounds like it's OnlyFans is next for you, but right. Yeah, what's next for?
Especially if you're leveraging opening up a kind of Victoria's Secret or whatever, you might. I'm just saying. It seems like that's where the content eschews, so you might be right in there. I mean,
might be the way to go. Yeah.
What I was going to say is, I just personally felt like I'm 29. I need to take better care of my health. I would rather expend that time on A, my relationship, and B, my personal health, making time for the gym and stuff like that, and just kind of getting my act together with my diet and things like that. To answer your question, what's next for me? I'm so certain I'm done with tech content. And one thing for me as well, having been in the tech community now, is it's kind of soured tech for me.
You can say that again.
Like genuinely,
soured for a lot of people.
I genuinely don't like the fact that it basically propels you to have this constant need to upgrade. Like, I was only doing accessory reviews, right? But I still have to go and buy the product. I have an Apple Watch Ultra. That's 850 quid. An iPhone, you know, let's say even it's on contract, and let's say you don't have my 20% blue light discount, right, for veterans and stuff like that. That's £90 a month. You know, I have to go get these bands. I have to do this and that. It just takes the fun out of it. You never really get time to enjoy it. And one thing, since I've stepped back from tech, is like, for example, a good friend of mine, Michael from Michael's Tech Talk, always calls me King Flip Flop, right? Because like 1 month I'm using a Pixel, 1 month I'm using a Samsung, then I'm back to iPhone. Is you're always kind of mixed up in this conversation of, oh, but there's this really cool feature over here, like call screening or 10x zoom on the S23 Ultra. And because you're getting it from both sides like this, you get FOMO, and you're constantly, sorry, oh, I want to try this, I want to try that, I'm fed up with iOS, blah, blah, blah. Now that I'm like an average user again, I don't give a damn. I 100% don't give a damn. You know, I'm just using what works for me.
Yeah, which is what people should do anyway, really, but they get caught up in everything.
Exactly. And I mean, the other thing is, like 2 or 3 months ago, I was looking at getting a refurbished M1 Pro MacBook Pro for 1,800 quid. Thank God I didn't get it, because that would be 1,800 quid I now need to pay off for a channel I'm no longer running, or I would have felt burdened to continue it.
Right.
You know, that
much money. Yeah.
You're, again, as a content creator, it's not just the things that you as the audience see, like the iPads and the iPhones and the Samsung Galaxies. There's cameras, MacBooks, just all this stuff in the background that you're constantly upgrading, which I'm sick of having to upgrade.
Yeah.
You know? And the worst thing is, it's like, for example, right now I'm using the original 2020 M1 MacBook Pro, right? It's a super capable device. It always edited my 4K absolutely perfectly. And yet I still felt like I had to upgrade. I needed to get something better. Right. Something better. There's nothing wrong with it. I could easily have used this for like another 2 years. Could have kept it going, especially for me. Like, all my footage was from a Canon M50, which maxes out at 60 bits, and 12-bit now, 4K from an iPhone. It absolutely rips through it, and yet you still feel like you need to upgrade this stuff.
Right. The thing is, the money you're saving, that could be a nice holiday for you and your missus, for example.
Well, exactly. I mean, look what you just did. You just went, instead of spending time editing a video, thinking about a video, you drove to Wales, you had a nice day.
Yeah.
And it was like...
Good example. Very good example.
And you can just basically decompress, and it's a lot better. Hitting the gym is great, but if you're hitting the gym and you're still stressed out and you're still spinning and your mind's still working and you're still in a bad place emotionally, mentally, I don't care how much gym you hit, you're still going to have some issues. So you got all those things have to align and get in a better frame.
Having a channel is stress, honestly. Like, it doesn't matter how small or big you are, they get stressful. You know? Because you're either stressing about the fact that you're so large you have to continue and you have obligations, or you're trying to grow, and that in of itself is stress. Why am I not getting the subscribers? Why is my my revenue crap? Why am I not getting the retention? What do I need to improve? What do I review next? What device do I get next? What's my content strategy? You know, will brands work with me? Then you're constantly emailing back and forth with them and stuff like that. I just can't be bothered.
Constant disappointment.
Yeah, basically. And one thing for me was as well, like, I like to have an intelligent conversation. Okay, quite often, like, when I look at, let's say Apple's made a decision about a product, okay, I look at it from the point of view of, I'm not a fanboy. First and foremost, I'm looking at it as a reviewer or like a commentator within tech, however you want to put it, and I have to deliver that to an audience. I'm not trying to give you like a passionate point of view. I'm trying to break it down for you. Like, they are a business, a huge, enormous corporation that makes insane sums of money. they operate on things like economy of scale, suppliers, bill of materials, and I'm trying to spend time putting together arguments on live streams, long thread tweets and stuff like that, to give people a breakdown of why Samsung is doing a certain something, what it could mean for them, why Apple's doing a certain something, and the economics of it all, the finances, the supply, just all these things that actually determine the outcome of a product. Because as much as a company A or company B wants to do something, there's also the reality of, can they execute it, or why didn't they execute it, or why did they do it like this? Why do they do things how they do things? And you spend time going through articles, getting the numbers, putting it all into good, well-written tweets and stuff like that. And all you get back is, fuck you, you're a Samsung hater. It's a shitty return. Like,
yeah, it's not nice. Yeah, there's the fanboys out there do ruin it, don't they? The fanboys, they're bad.
Exactly, and it's just hard to deal with them. And I even got to a point where, like, I had Spigen fanboys in my comments abusing me because I said a case was terrible.
A case? Spigen fans? Like, I didn't know there was Spigen fanboys. Bloody hell.
Yeah, first of all, I didn't know there was such a thing. I didn't know they would have so many people had, like, I know I'm a fan of cases, right? But I don't know if I'm militant enough to basically say
to abuse you over it.
This Spigen case didn't work for me. I think it's not very good. And then all of a sudden it's like feeling upset enough with that and go, well, fuck this guy. I'm gonna write a whole paragraph full of how much he's a caseology shill. I don't know. Maybe I have a different. Well, I don't know. I don't get down like that. I just don't. No. Like, if you have a disagreement or whatever, and you can vehemently and you can say it's terrible. I'm a Chicago Bears fan, right? I love the Bears, and they have not been a very good team in a long time. But I don't work for Hallis Hall. Like, I'm not getting a check from the guy, right? So it really doesn't matter if they go 0-17. Like, it's gonna be miserable. But I mean, people in the comments, fucking Bears ruined my life, Dad. I was like, okay, well, it's a sports team, folks. I mean, calm down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it'd be different if they won games and you got money from them, or if they don't win 8 games in the season, you got to pay your own house note. Okay, well then I get a little bit more pissed off, right? But if it's just, I don't understand it. And I just don't understand how people can really get into that. And I can tell you, even if you were successful, that level of vitriol and hate and just shittery, that's a word. It wears on you.
You can't have a genuine conversation. You can't have a genuine conversation. And another thing is as well, I genuinely feel like tech is plateaued right now. Not to say it won't move on in the future. Tech always moves on, or we wouldn't be where we are. We'd still have like IBM computers running on 5 megabytes that are the size of a fucking 44-ton lorry.
Right.
But where we are right now as tech content creators, like we're maxed out with slab devices. Yes, folds have come on the scene and stuff like that. But the tech's not actually changing that much year on year.
It's true.
And being actually involved in it is actually just rather boring right now. That's how I feel anyway.
Yeah, no, I've heard that.
Well,
I've heard that from other people.
Are in that same thing. Now, are they willing to leave the space? Who knows? But like I said, I think a lot of people have said, just regular commentators have said that, there's not enough innovation. It feels like we're kind of in a lull. We've kind of hit peak smartphone and peak tablet and peak. There's going to be different stuff like that. But well, I mean, it's kind of a shame, man, because I really did enjoy your channel. I really did like the takes, and
thank you, man.
They were hot takes, and I kind of like that, because if you're gonna go in, you might as well go all in, right?
You may as well go balls to the wall.
Right, exactly. So, and I can appreciate that, because just like I said, at this day and age, and that's the problem too, is we have lost the ability to really have a dialogue where you can be on both sides of some argument, yes, no, and agree to disagree, and still you can say, well, I'm not feeling that. You made a point. I don't see it, and we're just going to have to walk away, right? Instead of all the stuff that back ends that. I just don't like that generally. Is just and so we just do our YouTube, and Lenny, like I said, he's awesome. We're on Purposely Pixel YouTube channel, so that's where we live, and we appreciate his support. And hopefully, we're not making people like go, I can't. I I really wanted to watch this Pixel content, but these Nomad Tech people drive me crazy. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop because you guys are pissing me off. So again, and even with us, we're not trying to really do anything like business wise. We're not trying to leverage this into anything, just other than
we just want to have fun.
Even still, we have like, what are we going to do? Who are we going to have on? And you know, we still have to have those conversations.
Yeah,
not necessarily stressful, but there has to be a communication channel. So we're having to think about it during the week as we talk and stuff. So even when it's really a hobby, which this is really what it is for us, it still requires some energy and thought. And if you're trying to leverage that into something else, I can't imagine that most people wouldn't struggle. And I've seen a lot of creators voice those opinions, especially, you know, a couple of other people I've seen on Twitter and stuff have expressed the same things that you have, basically.
The way I see it is, like I said earlier, how long are you going to run a business at a loss for? Yeah. That's the first thing. The other thing is simply, it's just draining. How long can you maintain it for without feeling like you're getting a decent return on it? I don't really buy into this fallacy of, oh yeah, but it takes time. You have to stick with it, because that whole fallacy of, oh, but it could take 5 or 6 years. Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to sit here for 10 years losing money month on month, hoping and praying it happens?
It's not sustainable, is it?
It's hard to go through that, yeah.
Whilst the niche is, like, the amount of people getting involved is growing,
Yeah.
You're seeing other tech content creators enter the space. There's an ever-growing number of people doing tech reviews. Your competition is growing and growing and growing, and it's harder and harder and harder to differentiate yourself. Like,
yeah,
it's a constant uphill battle, and I've always thought of myself as a person who likes to think in very clear black and white terms. Like, just cut the bullshit. This is what it is. This is where you're at. That's the reality. And I just took a step back and I looked at it and I thought, this is the environment I'm in. These are the settings I'm up against. Am I willing to keep pushing uphill at my own cost? No, I'm not. That's it. You have to be cutthroat and just say enough is enough.
Yeah.
You know, I know of a content creator within this tech space who has been doing it for 10 years. And if I look at the size of his channel for 10 years of effort invested, and then I asked myself, in 10 years, would I be happy with that return? I said to myself, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And and that's why, at least, you know, you have to respect the fact that at least you looked at it from a business perspective, a mental health perspective, holistically, looked across all of it, and you said, look, this doesn't work for me, and I'm just going to walk away. And I think you're going to be happier with it, honestly. And
yeah, I think you're going to be happier.
It's a shame because you hate to see people that you don't like to listen to and enjoy your content kind of walk away. But then you got to realize that's just the way it goes, and you got to respect that.
I thought about carrying on with like written articles, like Medium.
I was going to say to you, I think you should do that.
Do you know what? I've genuinely thought about it, and I kind of look at how some other people that I communicate with who use Medium, the kind of reach and stuff they get, and I think about, you know, where TikTok is at, and let's say TikTok does disappear, yeah? What TikTok has done has instilled, and Reels as well now, Instagram Reels and Shorts as well, they feed into what I'm going to say. They've instilled a culture of very quick, fast gratification. Like, people barely read anymore. You know, I can't get people to read a tweet that's like 7 or 8 tweets long, like a thread, which is quick because they're only 140 characters each. And I thought to myself, do I really want to be sitting here repeating the whole process of planning out an article? You know, I have a friend who's written for major newspapers like The Guardian and stuff like that here in the UK. He's had published articles. You know, he's in journalism. I was going to get him to check my articles, and I thought, is it worth the return? No. And more on top of that, it was a case of, do I actually care enough to write this anymore? No.
Yeah.
You know, tech's just not that interesting to me anymore.
Yeah, it's a shame. Sam, you've got a shoot, haven't you, mate? Which is a shame because I'm enjoying this convo. But
yeah, no, well, we're going to have this convo again. We're going to continue this later because Petar's not just going to ditch out of space and then fucking go black and never talk to him again. That's not.
Before we go,
though, always around.
He ain't getting rid of us. We're going to keep bugging him every couple of months or so.
Petar, you're very active on Twitter still. Shout out your Twitter.
Oh, it's just still Direct Tech YT.
Yeah.
You can always catch me talking shit on there, probably having a go at someone or something. Whether
everyone give this man a follow.
Yeah. Oh, cheers, thank you.
And we'll make sure we put it in the show notes as well, so that way people can still.
No, thank you, man. I will still be doing like the odd tech commentary on my Twitter and stuff. But you won't see me doing like full blown threads anymore unless something like seriously happens, or maybe like this Apple VR headset. That's a big thing, so I'll probably say something about that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see that. And who knows? I mean, maybe it's the new thing, and it's going to be a lot of commentary about it. That's for gosh darn sure. I mean, it's a huge thing. So for that's it. That's the show for this week. And again, we'll have Petar on again at some point in the future. We'll have another chat. We'll kind of dig into that. And we really appreciate you taking your time. I know it's kind of a hectic day for you. So thanks for coming home.
No, it's cool, man.
Get around the car and jumping right on the show. We really appreciate that, man. I know it's been a
long thanks for opening up, man.
No, that's all right. Honestly, and if you guys ever want me on for any topic, let me know. I do enjoy chatting with you guys. It's a great show.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
I always enjoy coming on.
All right, and that's it for the Nomad Tech Project for Sunday, April 23rd. We're going to be on next week. I think we have Darren. I think is coming on next week.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So, and then like I said, we'll have Petar on again. And thank you again for showing up and taking your time. We really appreciate it, mate.
That's right, mate. Thanks.
Just one last thing from me. Yeah. www.extremeskins.co.uk. Skin your shit.
Skin your shit. And for that, for Joe and for Sam and Petar, thanks for swinging by. Skin your shit.
Good skins.
Absolutely.
Very good skins.
All right, folks. Take care. Love your tech.
Thanks, boys.
See you next week, and be excellent to each other.
Be nice to each other, people.
See you later, boys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.